Hello and welcome to another episode of The Art of Kicking Ass Elegantly TV. I'm your host, Michelle Hext. Today I'm going to be having a chat with you about why you need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable in business. A few years ago now, when I was about to turn 40, I'd set myself the goal of running the Paris Marathon for my 40th. And for me, my running had consisted mostly of sprinting and shorter distance running because that's what I needed to do to be fit in my sport of taekwondo. So in my mind, when I think the longest I'd ever run was 10K, I think. Maybe I'd even done a couple of half marathons at that point, but I still really considered myself being a sprinter or a short distance runner. Anyway, so I set this goal and thought, this is the thing that I need to do. And I remember the long runs were just killing me because I wasn't fast anyway. And so, those weekends where I had to run for, sometimes 3 hours, it was just mind-numbingly boring, but I found it really hard as well. Very, very challenging on a number of levels. And I remember talking to my coach at the time and saying to him, when does it get easier? When do these long runs become easier, more comfortable? And he said, that's the thing, they never really become that comfortable. So the thing with running is you just need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I got my head around it after that. I thought, okay, now I understand. It's never going to be awesome. I'm sure I'm going to have some runs, some days where it feels great, but for the most part, I just have to endure this. I have to endure being uncomfortable. And of course, long distance running is all about endurance, isn't it? And it's a lesson that I've learned to carry over into my business as well. And at the moment, watching my masterminders go through, these growth spurts and the challenges along the way, and, it's reminding me, of the need to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Running Facebook ads for the first time is a scary thing, and when they're not working, that's even more scary. And then you've got to go back and you've got to do them again, and you've got to tweak the market and tweak the audience and tweak the copy. And even though it's taken you such a big effort and such a lot of time to get to this point where you've actually put one together and all you want is for it to work and it doesn't, it means that you have to go back to the drawing board, and that's uncomfortable. There are things where you thought you've got this wonderful brand and offering, ready to go out into the world, and then you test the market and no one really understands what you're doing. It's really uncomfortable, and you have to go back and you have to do it again. There are so many things in business that are uncomfortable, especially women in business, because everything really is an extension of us and we take things so personally and all that sort of stuff. And a lot of it is really, really uncomfortable, but honestly, if you can get comfortable with being uncomfortable and remind yourself in those moments that, this is a challenge and there's a way to figure it out and I just need to work through it. And so, I get many messages on Facebook and emails from my girls about this isn't happening, and I just, work through it, just keep working through it, you'll get there on the other side. And I think if you have the expectation, if you know that there's going to be discomfort along the way, and you don't go into it with this, wide-eyed wonder and think that everything's just going to fall into place. I think if you know to expect discomfort and to back yourself to follow up and follow through and to push through to the other side, you're going to have a much easier time of it. Again, back to sport, I was speaking to a trainer at my gym who's very good in rehab and has worked with athletes all around the world. And he spoke to me about the rehab process after my hip surgery. And he said, the people who have the best results and the people who have a better time of it are the ones that go into this rehab knowing, this isn't going to be easy, and there are going to be days where I feel like I'm going backwards, and, there are going to be days when I'm frustrated and all that stuff. And he said the people that have that mindset have a far better outcome than the people that go in there saying, I'm going to cruise through this, it's going to be fine. And, I think that's really interesting because I look back to the time when I had my last surgery, and I think I did think that, this is going to be easy, I'll just get through that. And in the process, I damaged myself, and it never really repaired. So this time around, I'm doing it differently, but it's the same in business. you know, when you think, oh, this is going to be so easy, you know, I've got this wonderful product, everybody's so excited about it, I'm just going to launch it and away we go. If you've got that mindset and you take a few hits, if you're not prepared to take the hits, I think you have a harder time of it than saying, you know, I'm prepared to just keep going at this thing for as long as it takes. I'm going to take as many hits as I need to be able to, you know, get to where I need to be in the end. Anyway, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. I hope that helps, and I'll be in touch next week. Bye.